Today's episode of Wrestling All Day Podcast is brought to you by Crystal Lake Creations. Horror artwork, masks, and more. You can find Crystal Lake Creations on Instagram, crystal_lake_creations. You can also find their Etsy shop, etsy.com/CLakeCreations. Wrestling All Day Podcast Nation, what is up, guys? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of the Wrestling All Day Podcast. For today's episode, we have a ton of news here. We have coverage from AEW, we have coverage from WWE, we have coverage from PPW, all kinds of shit that we're going to get to, and we're going to get to it right now, starting off with this right here. Last night, our most recent piece of news that we have, Jeff Hardy is All Elite. Last night, Jeff Hardy made his AEW debut, saving his brother from a beatdown, not before doing his little goofy dance that he does. While making his entrance, he runs down the ramp, and instead of just charging right to the ring to help his brother, he got to get his dance in. Got to get your shit in. And he came in, hit the swanton. The Hardy Boys are back. Yay. So if you go back and watch it, I mean, the crowd, they were excited, but you could definitely tell they weren't as loud as it was on TV. So I definitely think a lot of that was piped in, which is fine. You got to make the moment the moment. I completely understand, but you can definitely tell that a lot of the reaction, the crowd pop, was definitely piped in. It was expected. Jeff Hardy said that he was going to be coming there. Brian Pillman Jr.'s stupid ass tweeted out something saying that he can't wait to work with Jeff Hardy. I then deleted the tweet because he was like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to post this yet. Fucking idiot. So, it was kind of expected. Everybody knew Jeff Hardy was coming. But I mean, if he wants to go and be with his brother, that's fine, do whatever. But I can't help but think, in 6 months when he's in jail again for a DUI or for, drug possession, that was kind of the reason why he got fired. He walked out, refused a test. So if you're going to refuse a drug test, well, fuck you, goodbye. So, more power to him. If he wants to go and be with his enabler brother, he can be with his enabler brother. And that's going to get me heat for saying that. I don't care. I really do not care. It's a fact. It's a known fact that both of the Hardy Boys have their demons. And I mean, look back 2 years ago when Matt Hardy fell and cracked his fucking skull off the concrete. They kept the match going. He fell 15, 20 feet, smacked his head off concrete. That rhymed. And they just kept the match going. So, I mean, what's going to happen when Jeff does a swanton, lands on his head? Are they going to stop the match? Are they going to care about him? Or are they just going to kind of shuffle him off to the side and get the next match going like they did with Matt Hardy? I mean, if Jeff's happy, then, I'm happy for him, but you can't help but think, the Hardy Boys, they're notorious for their demons, and I think it's only a matter of time now before they come back out. Another thing in AEW news, Thunder Rosa will challenge Britt Baker in her home of San Antonio in a cage match for the AEW Women's World Championship. So let me get this straight. After at least 10 interferences, that referee, by the way, at Revolution, during Thunder Rosa's match, looked so fucking stupid. Because Jamie Hayter, Rebel, they kept getting involved. And the referee just kept falling for it, looking like a fucking dumbass. Like, I know wrestling referees aren't supposed to be the smartest people, but come on. The guy legitimately looked like he had a fucking, issue in his brain where something wasn't just working right. They made him look stupid. I don't know if that was Paul Turner, Ballburn, or whatever the fuck Taz calls him, but he looked stupid. And the fact that they let Britt Baker go over, this is a pay-per-view. This is one of their big pay-per-views. All of their pay-per-views are big pay-per-views because they only do 4 a year. This was a big moment for Thunder Rosa, and now, yeah, she gets to go and, I would hope, win the title in her hometown in a steel cage match. It feels like a big fight feel, but it's just on Dynamite. Why couldn't they have let her get that win on pay-per-view and have it go down in history? You know, that big pay-per-view match. Why do it on Dynamite? Seriously. Why do it on Dynamite? I think that was a huge mistake on AEW's part. And if Britt Baker goes over again in this cage match, then it'll definitely be a huge mistake on AEW's part. And I feel that, you know, the longer they keep this reign going of Britt Baker, the more people are going to realize that the women's division of AEW really fucking sucks. Because all his hand-chosen favorites are champions. And Britt Baker is his hand-chosen favorite, and nobody's going to go over to Golden Child. So, we'll see what happens. If Baker goes over in this cage match, I've lost all faith in AEW. What little shred of faith I have left is gone. So, we'll see. We'll see this weekend. In WWE news, Stone Cold Steve Austin is back. Stone Cold Steve Austin will be at WrestleMania. He accepted the challenge of Kevin Owens, said he's got one more can of whoop ass left to open, and Kevin Owens is going to get his ass kicked at WrestleMania. However, now when you talk like that, you think there's going to be a match. However, it's a segment. As far as I know, it is advertised to be the KO show. So maybe they might set something up. If they do the KO show night one, it might set something up to where Austin and Kevin Owens will compete against each other on night two. But as far as I know, it's just going to be an in-ring segment. Kevin's probably going to talk some shit. Stone Cold's going to come in, talk some shit. Owens probably going to swing at Stone Cold or something. Stunner, bam, done, over with. But I'm excited. You know, if Stone Cold wrestles, let's just put it this way. If Stone Cold does wind up competing, this will be his first match since WrestleMania 19 in 2003. 19 years ago. If Stone Cold competes at WrestleMania, this will be his first match since his match with The Rock back in 2003 in Seattle. Now, I'm not saying... you got to think, Stone Cold's 57, 58, 56, somewhere in that range. You know, and he hasn't competed. I mean, yeah, he's showed up. He's done stunners. He's done, you know... He's gotten into fights with people, but he hasn't physically competed in a match in 19 years. So you got to wonder where he is physically and where he is, you know... I'm not saying he's going to wrestle. I'm not getting my hopes up that he is going to wrestle. But the fact that Stone Cold's coming back is fucking awesome. But if he does wind up getting in the ring, you got to factor all this shit in. You know, he hasn't competed. I mean, he looks great. You know, he still trains daily. You know, he says he goes on hikes. He does all this shit on the Broken Skull Ranch. You know, he does all this shit. So, I mean, maybe he is in ring shape. Maybe he's been secretly keeping himself in ring shape because he knew the call would come. I don't know. I really don't know, but we'll see what happens at WrestleMania when Kevin Owens and Stone Cold meet face-to-face for the KO show. I am so fucking hyped for that. Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back. I believe this will be Stone Cold's first appearance since 2020 when he did 316 Day in front of nobody, which it was slightly embarrassing. But, you know, Stone Cold's already booked. They already paid him, so he's like, fuck it, you're coming anyway. So... 316 Day, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the last appearance, made his last appearance in 2020. That was right after they stopped doing all the live events and started doing stuff at the Performance Center. God, it feels like a lifetime ago now. It really does. It feels like a lifetime ago that shit happened. You know, seeing all the crowds back, no more Thunderdome. It's great to see. It's fantastic to see. But I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to see Stone Cold back in front of fans for the first time. That pop in Dallas is going to be fucking insane when the glass shatters and Stone Cold comes out. I hope he has the ATV. I legitimately hope he has the ATV. I want to see him rip that bitch down the fucking ramp. I want to see that so bad. But I don't think he's going to. I think they're going to, you know, he's going to walk down the ramp and they're going to soak in every second. Who knows? I don't know. WrestleMania is still a couple weeks away. And speaking of WrestleMania, I am doing an 8x10 giveaway. Free 8x10 giveaway. And just because I feel like being generous, I'll be doing 3 8x10s. I'll be giving away 3 8x10s if I hit 100 subscribers on YouTube before WrestleMania. WrestleMania is March. Wow, that already passed. April 3rd and April 4th is WrestleMania. If I can reach 100 subscribers before then, I will give away 3 8x10s of a former AEW or WWE star. I have plenty of 8x10s here. I'll handpick one at random, and I will ship it out to you. It won't be personalized. It's not personalized to me. It won't be personalized to anybody. So if you resell it, you resell it. I don't give a fuck. But it will be sent out to you. It'll be a former AEW or WWE star, or it could be a current AEW star, current Impact star. Who knows? Who knows? I know. I already know. But if I can hit 100 subscribers before this most stupendous 2-night WrestleMania in history, I'd be greatly appreciative of that. And the 8x10s is the least I can do to say thank you to everybody. So, all you gotta do is just subscribe to my YouTube channel, Wresting All Day Podcast. You can't miss me. It has the same logo as I do everywhere else. And once you hit the subscribe button, send me a message on Twitter at WAllDayPod. Hit me up on Instagram, screenshot it, say done. Boom, you're entered. If I hit 100 subs before WrestleMania, I will give away those 8x10s. And there's some good ones. I'm not just saying that just to hype it up. I mean it. There's some pretty good ones in there. But on my YouTube channel, there's going to be a lot of different content, not just my podcast, but a lot of video game content. Mainly now WWE 2K22, because it is going to hit different. And it does hit different. WWE 2K22 is actually pretty fucking fun. I'm not a huge fan of the combo system. I'm not a huge fan of the breakers instead of reversals. That does get pretty fucking annoying. And you'll hear me on my streams that I did. My career stream and my launch stream, one of uploads. You'll hear me get pissed off at the controls. You'll hear me legitimately get pissed off at the controls, and when I get mad at video games, I get fucking mad. So, if you guys want to see me rage at a game or hear me rage at a game, go watch my 2K22 launch stream when it goes up. But yeah, as far as I see, WWE 2K22 does hit different. They just announced all the DLC that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And some of the names include Yokozuna, Xia Li, Mr. T, Machine Gun Kelly, Rob Van Dam, Logan Paul, Stacy Keibler, Cactus Jack, Umaga, Ronda Rousey, Doudrop, Omos, The Hurricane, and more. I'm not going to go over the entire list right now. But yeah, dude, this shit looks absolutely insane. The game looks great. The gameplay is great. I play on Xbox Series S, which is next-gen consoles. So if you're playing on last-gen, I'm assuming it looks the same. I really wouldn't know. I think there's a slight difference in the graphics. But if you guys can, send me a screenshot. Send me a screenshot. Send me some gameplay of you playing on the last-gen consoles, PS4 or Xbox One. Because I do have the game for the Xbox One. I just haven't loaded it onto my One yet. I still have it for my Series S. I gotta load it onto the Xbox One still. So send me some gameplay. Send me some shit. I think the Community Creations is cross-gen. I don't know. I know it's cross-platform. I don't know if it's cross-gen. But either way, the WWE 2K22 so far, I like it. It's definitely a step up from WWE 2K20. It does have issues where you can't stay connected to the internet or to the servers, which does suck. The servers went down for 2 hours yesterday, and they still didn't fix the problem. Typical 2K, typical fucking 2K. But I, right now, am enjoying the fuck out of the game. I think it's, it has the potential to be one of the greatest wrestling games of all time. The graphics look great. The gameplay is pretty smooth. It has its glitches every now and then, but that's expected. Once they start putting patches out, once the DLC comes out, I'm expecting big things from this game. So yeah, does WWE 2K22 hit different? I think it does. What else do we got here? Back to Monday Night Raw, back to WWE. The same night, Kevin Owens challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin for a confrontation at WrestleMania. We finally got an explanation as to why Edge beat the piss out of AJ Styles a couple weeks ago. Edge apparently is a huge fan of Eric Andre and decided, you guys like my entrance? What if it was purple? Well, Edge's music played while a purple spotlight came down, and then Edge's music stopped. Now, I don't know if Edge missed his cue or not, but like people were just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, but no Edge. Finally, he came out. No music. Crowd started booing the shit out of him. He makes his way to the ring, and I guess they just recycled Undertaker's lighting. They figured, fuck it, he's not here no more. We're not using it. Let's give it to somebody else. Now, this Edge, the way he was talking, the way he looked, it reminded me of like 2007, 2008 Unhinged Edge. Like the Edge that went to John Cena's house and bitch slapped John Cena's father on live TV. I think that's where we're going with this. I'm not saying he's going to go to AJ Styles' house and bitch slap Wendy. What I'm saying is that this crazy ass version of Edge, like this is the Edge who tipped Undertaker off the ladder and got Undertaker fired for like 2 months. And then when Undertaker came back, Edge snapped. Vicky Guerrero was in a wheelchair. Edge was flipping her wheelchair and said, if I'm going to hell, I'm taking you with me. He beat the shit out of Mick Foley before that match. So all this unhinged Edge is back, and I love it. He said that he's in a dark place that he's never been to before, and he loves it. Hell, I love it. But now, you gotta think, this is a dream match. If you would have asked me 15 years ago if Edge and AJ Styles were ever going to compete in the same ring against each other, I would have told you no. I would have said you're stupid for even asking me. But now, WrestleMania 38, Dallas, Texas. Stone Cold Steve Austin's coming back. Edge turns heel. We got all this shit happening. Logan Paul's coming back. We finally have unhinged Edge. I am so fucking ready for this. Now, for AJ Styles, I mean, he's had a couple of underwhelming matches at WrestleMania, like his tag team match with Omos. That was more to get Omos over than it was to get AJ Styles over. So I understand. That was Omos' first match, and it was more to get him over than it was for AJ. So that really wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't, AJ Styles' full potential, AJ Styles at WrestleMania, he's faced Jericho, he's faced Shane McMahon, and they weren't like horrible matches. His match with Jericho was pretty good. I think AJ Styles should have won that, but his match with Jericho was pretty good. His match with Shane was decent. His match with Shinsuke Nakamura, it wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't what they hyped it up to be. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, this is a rematch from the New Japan. So you think that it's going to be something special. You think it's going to be something phenomenal, no pun intended, or fuck it, pun intended. And it wasn't. It was kind of lackluster. And then it led to 3 months of them kicking each other in the nuts. So, yay. But I'm excited for this match. Edge can bring the best out of anybody. AJ Styles brings out the best of everybody. Look at Look at Edge's match. His Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins. His match with Seth at SummerSlam. His match with Seth in Madison Square Garden. Arguably 3 of Edge's greatest matches ever because of Seth freaking Rollins. But you got to think, it wasn't just all Seth. That was Edge too. Like, Edge can bring out the best in anybody. And Seth can bring out the best in anybody. AJ Styles can bring out the best in anybody. AJ Styles and Edge both brought out the best of John Cena. For their respective feuds. Edge back in the 2000s, AJ Styles just a couple years ago, bringing out the best of John Cena. Something we haven't seen in a long time because we were used to, Super Cena, and to have him do those matches with Styles showed everybody, well, maybe John Cena can hang with some of these guys. Same thing with Edge when he fought Cena. Maybe Cena can hang with some of these guys. But honestly, though, I am excited to see Edge and AJ Styles tear it down. Edge went on the record to say he wants the hungry bulldog, not the AJ Styles that played bitch to Omos for the last couple of months. So for this match here, I mean, AJ Styles is quote unquote out right now. So I'm assuming this is going to be like AJ Styles' soul-searching mission, where he's going to be gone for a couple weeks. He's going to come back. He's going to beat the fuck out of Edge, and they're going to kill each other at WrestleMania. And I'm so fucking excited for it. But this is Edge wants the AJ Styles that beat John Cena. Edge wants the AJ Styles that beat Dean Ambrose for the WWE title. Edge wants the AJ Styles that fought tooth and nail for everything he ever got in TNA. This is the AJ Styles that Edge wants. And this is the Edge we've all wanted. This crazy, unhinged Edge, this fucking psychopath version of Edge. I absolutely fucking love it. So I think those two are going to tear it the fuck down at WrestleMania. Like I said, AJ Styles can bring out the best of anybody. Edge brings out the best of anybody. And I think it's going to be fun. I legitimately think that Edge and AJ Styles could have potentially not only match of the night, not only match of the weekend, potentially match of the year. There's been a few strong candidates so far. Only a few. But I legitimately think that those two have the potential to have match of the year quality written all over it. Now, we talked about 2K22, we talked about Stone Cold, we talked about Edge, talked about Jeff Hardy. I do want to talk about the fact that 2 days from now, this Saturday, PPW, my local indie fed, is putting on a show. It is called PPW Ring of Roses. If you're in Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, or in the area, northeastern PA area, and you guys want to stop in and check it out, come by. You guys will not be disappointed. Signatures Training Academy, Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania. I go to the shows every month. I've only missed like 2 shows. That was out of my control. But I've only missed like 2 shows, and every month they just blow me away. You can come see the tag team champion, South Philly's finest. You can come see the PPW champion, Bro Keller. You can see women's champion, Danny Moe. Bro Keller and Danny Moe actually were just recently featured on AEW Dark within the last couple of weeks. I think within the last month, they were both on AEW Dark. You can come see Action Andretti, Griffin McCoy, Joey Martinez, Vinnie Mac, Mr. Ruda, not Vince McMahon. There's a wrestler named Vinnie Mac. Don't get it confused. Vince McMahon is not coming to a little shithole in Pennsylvania. Broadheadsville, the place is nice. Broadheadsville, not so much. Signatures Training Academy, Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful place. They have a wonderful school there run by Alpha and a couple other guys. It's a wonderful school. It's just in a terrible location because Broadheadsville kind of sucks. But that's okay. Every month they put on fantastic shows. Some of the matches are hit or miss. These guys are still young and still, they're learning the ropes. No pun intended. They're still learning. And that's what independent wrestling's all about. You got to learn. Now, I can't do the stuff that these guys can do. I can't get my fat ass in the ring and do this stuff. I know that for a fact. So, more power to them. But like I said, some of the matches are hit or miss, but most of the night, you're going to be on the edge of your seat going, holy shit, this is better than what I see on weekly television. You guys know me. I don't watch the weekly shows. I don't watch NXT. I don't watch Raw. I don't watch SmackDown. I get all my highlights from fucking YouTube. These shows, I can legitimately tell you, are fun. It's a family environment there. You're not just treated like a fan. You're treated like family. The wrestlers there are super fucking cool. The people who run the place are super fucking cool. And you can go there. You can get trained by a former WWE superstar, Alpha Jr. He was Manu in WWE. So, it's a fun place. It really is. It's a family environment. And you'll have fun. So if you're in the area, come check it out. I'm going to list off some of the matches that are going to be happening. We have Brian Johnson, formerly of Ring of Honor. He'll be facing VSK from Impact and Griffin McCoy. Brian Johnson will be led to the ring by Mr. Ruda, who at the anniversary show, at the Slamfest show, absolutely got annihilated by Alpha Jr. and Luke Gallows. So Mr. Ruda, I don't think Gallows is there this time, so I think you're clear. It'll be a 3-way tag team championship match for the PPW tag team titles. Primal Fear takes on Team Ruda when Joey Martinez and Vinnie Mac team up to take on Primal Fear and South Philly's finest, the current PPW Tag Team Champions. Dark STG will be in action. No idea who his opponent's going to be, but it's probably going to be a squash match like it was last month. He beat the shit out of two guys. Rebecca Scott will face Layla Gray. Valerie Verman with Samuel Thompson. What a name. Mike Bennett will be there. Mike Bennett of Ring of Honor and Impact. He'll be facing Action Andretti. And of course, along with Mike Bennett will be Maria Kanellis. Davey Richards is going to challenge Bro Keller for the PPW Heavyweight Championship. Taya Valkyrie, Frankie Monet from NXT. Taya from Lucha Underground, the wife of John Morrison, will be there. She will be facing Danny Moe for the PPW Women's Championship. I assume Chris Slade will be defending his championship as well. Heath Slater will be in action. Heath Slater will be teaming up with Alpha. I'm not sure the match here. Let's see if I can find it. I cannot find it. But I know Heath Slater will be in action. Card subject to change as always. And that seems to be a thing. What a lot of these independent shows, cards subject to change, and they abuse that. But I mean, you go in there expecting a one-on-one match, and it turns into a five-way. I'm not going to complain. Seeing five of the best do what they do, I'm not going to complain. So yeah, if you're in the area and you want to come check out some awesome wrestling this weekend, PPW is the place to be. Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, Northeast PA's hottest professional wrestling show. And I'm not getting paid anything. They don't even know that I'm doing this. I mean, they do because they retweeted it. But I'm not getting paid to say any of this. I'm just putting this shit over because, in my mind, PPW is the best professional wrestling you're going to find in PA. There's a lot of great wrestling promotions in the area, but in this area, Northeast PA and surrounding areas, PPW, I think, is the best indie promotion that you can find. They bring in all the big stars, and not only do they bring in the big stars, they make their guys look like stars. Bro Keller, the PPW champion. What a fucking athlete that guy is. I've seen that man, tall motherfucker. I've seen him do things I didn't think people his size can do. Bro Keller's a tall, skinny dude, and that motherfucker can move. So, if you guys want to see some of the best wrestling in the Northeast Pennsylvania area and surrounding areas, come check out PPW this weekend. But for that, I think that is everything I want to discuss here tonight. Talked about PPW, talked about 2K, the 8x10 giveaway, which again, if I get 100 subs on YouTube, all you gotta do is subscribe, say, screenshot it, send me it, say done, boom, done. And if you want to know where you can find me on social media, Facebook, Wrestling All Day Podcast, Twitter, at W All Day Pod. You can find me on Instagram, Wrestling All Day Podcast. You can find me on YouTube, Wrestling All Day Podcast. You can find my podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts. I like saying that word over and over again. Podcast. It just rolls off the tongue. Podcast. But I finally got accepted to iHeartRadio. So you can find me there. You can find me on Spreaker. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on Apple Podcasts. You can find me on Google Podcasts. You can find me on Castbox. You can find me on Deezer. You can find me anywhere you get your fucking podcast. Literally any fucking where you get your podcast, you can find me. But again, if I hit 100 subs on YouTube before WrestleMania, I will give away 3 8x10s to 3 lucky winners. So, again, it could be from a former AEW guy, current AEW guy, former WWE guy, current WWE guy. Who knows? Who the hell knows? Well, like I said, I know because I have all of them in front of me. But I guarantee you won't be disappointed with your 8x10 choice. And if you take it and sell it on eBay, and I see it on eBay, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever. Get the fucking bag. That's all I got to say. Get your bag. You know, you want to make a little bit of money, make a little bit of money. And if I can help you do that, I'm happy. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This has been Wrestling All Day Podcast. Remember, it's not just all day. It's every day. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you for the next one.